The following production is brought to you by the Talkin' Buds Leaf Show.
Here we go, Talkin' Buds Leaf Show, yet another off-season remote edition. I'm Rob, he's Ryan. I feel like I have to introduce you off the top because some guy in our comments last week said it was, quote, inexcusable for me to not introduce my guest off the top. And I was like, well, first of all, he's not a guest. He's the co-host of the show, has been for 5 years, going on 200 episodes. But okay, this week, I'm giving you a proper introduction.
Well, I introduced myself.
You did. You did.
Yeah.
It was like inexcusable was the word that was used.
I guess we're kind of assuming that, like, if you are watching the channel, like I guess there's new people watching.
Our faces are in the thumbnail.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll give him a free pass. It's all right.
We'll give him a free pass. So, as we've been doing in the off season, we get together when there's news to discuss. And I wouldn't say this is news because we've known Sheldon Keefe was sticking around, but it was officially announced earlier today that he has signed a 2-year extension with the Maple Leafs. Thinking about this, I feel like there's kind of two discussions here. There's the sort of business discussion, and then there's the Sheldon Keefe as a head coach discussion. The business side is the whole lame duck thing. No coach wants to be a lame duck. The golden parachute. So even if he does get fired, he has 2 years left of guaranteed income. This whole like media manufactured narrative of, well, Treliving needs to have a bullet in the chamber. If he,
I hate that.
Dude, that's the fakest, stupidest media manufactured narrative. And then there's the Sheldon Keefe as a coach and what we think of him as the coach, if it's right to bring him back. I'll kick it to you and you tell me where you want to go with this.
I think for those who tuned into last episode about Matthews, I came in a little hot that episode. I don't know why.
That's an understatement. Yeah,
I just got on here and I don't know what it was. I just came on. I was hot. I don't know why. I believe I'm a little more level-headed this time around. But here we go. Like, level-headed. So here's the level-headed Ryan. I get if you're going to keep him around, you extend him because the whole lame duck thing. Like, okay, like I get that. There's the precedent that Treliving went into Calgary and he kept Hartley around, then Hartley wanted Jack Adams. So, like, I get that. The whole bullet in the chamber thing, piss off. Like,
and the golden, like, MLSE, if he ends up getting fired this year, paying him for 2 more years is nothing. Like, they let Babcock go with several years left on his deal.
Yeah. So, yeah, in that sense, it's not a big deal. But it kind of just, we kind of talked about it at the end of the year, or when Treliving got hired.
Yeah.
I just don't think that, and here's the fan side of Ryan, the Ryan who comes in a little bit hot sometimes. I just don't think this guy can get the job done. I think he's proved that already. I understand the regular season success. Yeah, he's been an amazing regular season coach. His record is unbelievable. It's phenomenal, actually. It's really good. But I'm sorry for all the fans out there who've sat through every single game that this guy's been a coach, especially in the playoffs. You know that when April and May roll around, this guy gets owned. And it's just, I just don't think, like, I know you want to give him a shot with a new general manager and maybe the whole Dubas thing, like, maybe he creates a new kind of vibe with him and Treliving. But I just don't, if I'm a player in that room and I already kind of like don't love Keefe, watching him walk in that room day one with a new attitude because he is a new general manager, I would just kind of look at him and be like, I still don't like you, buddy. Like, I still don't love you.
Yeah, and that's like, you made that point when we talked about this, the exact phrase I used was it's a chicken shit decision to keep him around. I think um, if you're bringing back essentially the same core, which they are, can we get a different look? Like we were into the second round of the playoffs and he didn't know what his best lineup is yet. He spent all year last year fiddling with his defense pairings and fiddling with his lines. He's like, there was the whole thing with Marner and Matthews earlier in the season, and then he had to apologize, which we're going to talk about in a second. We're gonna get to the non-Dubas Sheldon Keefe era in a minute. You know, another thing I hate too. I heard this on the radio today. Well, who are you gonna bring in?
Yeah,
it's like,
that's the
go. I know. Go find someone. Go find someone. Like,
dude, there's not an ex-player hanging around on an AHL team who was a grinder back in the day. Like, there's not a like I don't want to say Brindamore because Brindamore is a special guy, but like there's not like a new kind of Travis Green type of old style player who's coaching right now who can't get a shot.
I hate that. It's like, well, who are you gonna? You know, when you took a look around at the candidates, and it's
stop thinking of Peter Laviolette.
I know.
Stop thinking of that.
I know.
That's not what they're going to do.
The only thing I will say is I think they had, if you go rewind to this time last year, and I know circumstances were completely different, but Barry Trotz was sitting right there. So that's the only thing where I'm like, okay, you could have gone and got him. But
he's now a general manager. So
I agree. I totally agree, man. Stop thinking of Peter Laviolette. Like go and find the next good Rod the Bod type hockey coach. It's just, I hate that. I hate that narrative. I don't know. It's
I'm not stoked. Like, I thought this was a facelift. Like, Dubas left, and like I just kind of wanted a new look all around. I don't believe in the whole save a bullet. It's like, no, this guy's coming in. It's not like he's on a timer. Like, he's a general manager. He's probably gonna be here for a while. If this team doesn't succeed, I don't think it's on him.
Yeah.
His biggest obstacles are the contracts he has to sign. So he's kind of like Dubas 2.0, where he's going to be judged by all the new contracts.
You're talking about Treliving.
Yeah, Treliving. Oh. So that's what I mean. It's like, that's why I don't believe in the bullet in the chamber. Like, you can't fire a coach now because what, are you going to fire another one a couple of years down the road? It's like, yeah, that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, that's the advantage of having an ownership group like Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment who can afford to pay these guys contracts after they've been fired. That's an advantage you should exploit.
Yeah, Mike just got finished getting paid.
Yeah,
and he's going to be in the building this year.
Well, and you brought it up, and I want to get into that because the two like pro Sheldon Keefe narratives are the first one that we just talked about, which is who else are you going to go and get, and the second one is, well, wait till you see. Let's take a look and wait and see what Sheldon Keefe does without Kyle Dubas pulling the strings. And there's a part of that I buy into, and there's a part of that I don't buy into. The part of that I buy into is, okay, let's see what he does when he doesn't have guys like Dennis Malgin and Obey Kubel and Alex Kerfoot and those types of guys on his bench. So it's like, okay, let's see what he does and how he deploys a Max Domi or a Tyler Bertuzzi. Let's see how he does that.
I think that's fair.
How he does that. Yes, let's see how he does that.
I think that, like, deep down, you always kind of thought that maybe he was more into the tough guy stuff, and now he's going to have a chance to go out and put the players he wants to put out, not prioritize a bunch of softies.
Dennis Malgin.
Yeah.
But the second part of it, which you're totally right, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. You can't just show up at training camp and all of a sudden be a hard ass when you publicly walked back your calling out of the star players last year. None of these guys are going to take you seriously. You can't do that. Like, it became very clear last year when that happened that the superstars of this team have a very loud voice behind the scenes. So you can't just all of a sudden come in and go, well, Kyle's gone and Brad's here now and I'm a new man and I'm a hard ass. These guys are like, they're all just going to go, whatever, man. Like, you can't do that.
I just don't really buy, like, I would really like to know what the relationship is. Like, really know, because we're on the outside. We see what we see, we hear what we hear, we read what we read. And then you take your opinion from there. Like, from what I can see, this guy just doesn't have it. Do I think he's an awful coach? No, not at all. I've always said, like, I've always liked the guy, actually. He seems like a good dude. I'd want to drink a beer with him, but it's just, I just wanted the whole package, you know, like, just like, if you're going to change the GM, let's change the coach too. Let's give something else a try here. Sheldon had a pretty fair shake. It's not like he was the coach for a year and he gets dipped. Like, he's had a couple kicks at the can here, with an elite team, quote unquote elite team, and it hasn't worked. So I just that's where I'm kind of disappointed as a fan. It's just, I kind of just want to see the whole shebang.
Yeah, and we've seen him get his lunch handed to him a couple times in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. May rolls around. The guy's literally out to lunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting because if you look back, the last 2 seasons, they've been terrible off the hop, and everyone's been calling for his head, and he survived both years. Treliving seems like the type of guy that won't make an impulsive decision like that.
No.
And will stick with him. I'm also not surprised that Sheldon and Brad Treliving have kind of bonded here. Like, that doesn't totally surprise me.
But in fairness, though, like, he is kind of, if you think about the season and you think about the division, especially with Bergeron and Krejci retiring, that he's almost set up for success, for another successful regular season. Like, this isn't about them going out and sucking right off the hop, because even if they do that, they've proved that they can come back from that. And this division isn't strong enough. They're still a top team in the division. So for some reason, they can't win the division, but they're going to be in the top 3 again for sure. And he's going to have another great regular season. But
I mean, this year's as good a chance as any with what's happened to the Bruins.
Yeah. And I mean, other teams are getting better. Like, Buffalo's getting better. Ottawa should be getting better. Florida is a good team. Tampa's still a good team. So it's just, this is more about, like, now that I think about it, it's just more of like an April-May decision, which is what every decision has been based off with this hockey team from a fan's point of view, because he's going to have another great regular season. He's going to keep adding to that amazing record that he has. It's just, I think I've seen enough in May to know that I don't think he can get it done. And so not that stoked.
Yeah, not that stoked either. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch a little more. 2 more things I want to touch. It's going to be a short one today, but 2 more things I wanted to touch on first. There was another piece of news in the last week as the Maple Leafs signed defenseman Simon Benoit, who spent last season with the Anaheim Ducks, played 78 games, 3 goals, 7 assists, 60 penalty minutes, which you're kind of like, okay, what about Simon Benoit intrigues me. 6'3", 203 pounds. Left shot defenseman. There's quite a few videos on YouTube of him throwing down. Just another guy that the Leafs have added to increase the snot, as Brad Treliving put it.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that Brad buys into guys who could throw down.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool. Like,
I always remember our interview with Nick Richard last season, and we had his prospect sheet up, and you said, when I look at this list, I'm looking for guys who have a height that starts with a 6.
Yeah.
So last week when they made that trade, I was like, I've never heard of Simon Benoit. So I looked him up, and I'm like, 6'3". Nice.
And he probably won't play a lot, but it's just, if there's highlights of him throwing down, then to me, it's extremely clear that Brad likes guys who can throw down.
Yes. I wanted to touch on the Auston Matthews thing one more time and sort of bring this up. Now, you admitted that you're coming at it this week with more of a level head.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
By the time this contract is over, he will have been here for 12 seasons. If at the end of those 12 years, they have still yet to get past the second round, it's time to move on anyway. And at least He can just, there's going to be no drama. You're not going to get locked into a situation like you are right now with John Tavares, where you're paying the guy $11 million and he can't skate. Like, in a perfect world, John Tavares should be your third or fourth line centerman because of what his, like, just the way his body performs these days.
His next contract is going to be interesting.
He is
whoever he signs with.
He is locked in. On personally, Ryan, I could see him just taking the most aggressive hometown discount you've ever seen and staying. Yeah. That's personally what I could see. He probably wants to retire and leave. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, whatever.
With Matthews, you don't get locked into a situation like you are right now with Tavares. And so it's 12 years is a long time. Like, if you said when they drafted him, he's going to be here for 12 years, we would have taken that every day of the week. And if you said he's going to be here for 12 years and they're not going to get past the second round, we all would have been like, all right, well, then it's time to move on to the next era of players in this city.
Yeah. No, you're right. Like, it's going to bring him into his 30s, which we know hockey players, when they get in their 30s, they're in their 30s. So yeah, like, it speaks for itself. I came in hot with, like, I thought I was just, like, really aggressive with just proving my point. It's not that I've gone back on how I feel. I still think that he thinks too highly of himself. I know when it's all said and done, might be the best forward in franchise history. But if you look at the forwards who've had tenure in this team's history, especially since 67 on, there's not a lot of big names on there. So it's not like we're talking about Gretzky here, but it's just, I don't know. I still think I'm just sad that we just had to draft the number 1 overall pick who had to just act like this, you know? Mm. Like, just, you know, like, why did we have to draft a guy who thinks he's LeBron James, you know? Like,
I'll be honest, Ryan. I think maybe I feel this way because he'll have been here for 12 years when all is said and done. But I don't hate it because I think this league is so boring.
Yeah.
That, like, it could use, like, I hope everyone's always like, well, you know, the last time the Leafs players signed these shorter term deals, we thought it was going to be a ripple effect through the league, and it wasn't. I actually hope it is, man. I hope it is. Like,
but it's still not.
League. I know, but I hope now that he's done it again, I hope someone in some other market has the stones. Like, as a guy who consumes the product, I really hope that, like, dude, it's you and I say all the time, like, it's tough for you and I to sit and watch any out of market game because the league as a product is not that good. It's not that interesting. No. It's really not. So, like, and what makes the NBA so great? Player movement, drama. One guy's here for 1 year and then he wants out. Like, what would, it's not going to happen now because they're cup or bust. But what would have happened like 2 years ago if Connor McDavid just was like, I want out. Or if in a few years he's like, I don't want to be in Edmonton anymore. And it was just a whole thing about, like, where are they going to move McDavid?
Yeah, but that's what pisses me off. It's like, he hasn't done that. Mm-hmm. You know, like, he could easily have done that.
That's what I'm saying. I hope this actually does start the trend, because, like, this league, it needs more.
Yeah.
It needs more drama. It needs more excitement.
Yeah. I hate how they just did the whole rebuild. They got all their players, and then they all just got greedy, and they all just make too much money. And at the end of the day, yeah, he could. And you know what else pisses me off too is the whole, like, Brad Treliving going out and putting his lips all over him, being like, he could have asked for more. It's like, shut up, man.
You've been a Brad Treliving super fan since he signed.
But it's like, buddy, take your lips off his bum. Like, let's stop here. Like, come on. Like, and then like, they're all just acting like this is a good deal for both sides. And it's just like, no, it's not. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, it's like, yeah, he could have asked for more because that's just the situation he's in, but at the end of the day, like,
I don't think the cap hits
decor, buddy. Like, it sucks.
I think only taking like $500K more than McKinnon, less than $1 million more than McKinnon, is not that bad.
Yeah, like, it's just, I don't know. I know, but it's just like, I just hate how it's like Austin really did us a favor here. It's like, no, he didn't. Like,
well, they don't want to lose him, man. Like they don't want to lose him.
They can't lose him. I don't want to lose him either. It's just, I just think it's all phony baloney. Like, to me, I just look at it. I look at other teams around the league. I look at other superstars, and they're playing on great teams because there's more to go around for good players, you know. And I don't even think he's got to play better. Like, he's got to play like the highest paid player in the league. Like, you know,
but also Ryan, if he has like, that's a risk that he actually is taking.
Yeah.
Like if he's signing that deal with the assumption that he's going to be anywhere between 45 to 60 goals a year.
Yeah.
For
like
all
he got
four.
40 last year in 74 games. And I know his wrist hurt, but like I don't care, but I'm not making excuses for this guy. Like, I'm
40
sorry,
goals
like,
in a 40 goals, and that's not bad.
Buddy. Look at 97.
Oh,
Edmonton,
but that's not. You said
but
last
that's
week
what
you're
we're
like
talking.
McDavid's
Like,
not a
thinks, but like that's what pisses me off about this. It's like he thinks he's on that level, but he's not, man. He's not even close. Like, it's like, that's why it kind of like pisses me off. It's like we've almost just like overhyped this guy to the point where it's like he's the second best player in the league. It's like, no, he's not.
What happens now too is they've put themselves in a position. We talked about this last week. We don't need to get into it again, but they've put themselves into a position where now Nylander's sitting there going, all right, I'll take 10 million for 4 years. And then in a year, Mitch Marner is going to say, all right, I'll take 12 for 4 years. So,
and let me make this clear to everyone who commented on the other video. I never said don't sign him. I never said that, ever. Ever. Like, they have to have this guy. I just think that, like, the way he's been handled since he's entered the league, given, like, he's won a Hart Trophy. It's not like he's a bum. It's just, like, I don't know. I think he's just, like, a little, like, he's just been put too high on a pedestal. And it's just, like, I need to see more from this guy. Like, he's a great player. But if he thinks he's the GOAT, I need to see some GOAT behavior. I hope this season he takes the middle finger and puts it right in my face. Like, I hope he does that, because I need to see 50 goals. I need to see 100 points. Like, I need to see a guy who's healthy, who's playing well, who's contributing. Like, there was stretches of last year, which he didn't play that well. He still got 40, but expectations, like, I need to see you in the top 10 in points. I need to see you with 50 plus. Like, there was guys doing that in their sleep last season. So like, let's go, buddy. Let's earn the money.
Yep. And we inch ever closer to training camp.
Yeah.
It'll be here before you know it. We'll be back in the studio.
September 12th?
No, later than that. It's towards the end of September.
Is that when the rookies get on?
Yes. Yeah, it's towards the end of September.
Because I was looking at this morning. They start their physicals September 11th.
Yes. But the actual camp and exhibition games don't start until like the 22nd or 23rd or something like that. So
we gotta listen to Joe Bowen, God love him. Just Tavares. Just game one of the preseason. Yeah. John Tavares.
Yeah, we'll be back 2 episodes a week. Hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to saddle up. Season 6. We're closing in on 200 episodes.
Yeah.
Hello to all the new subs from last week, by the way. Thank you so much for signing up. We very much appreciate it.
You know what they're doing?
What are they doing?
Spreading the word and telling their friends.
Spreading the word and telling their friends. If you're not spreading the word and telling your friends, you need to do so right now. And like I said earlier, hit that like and subscribe button below. Leave a comment. Leave a review. Even if you want to say that what I do is unforgivable.
If you want to accuse me of saying don't sign Matthews when I never said that, go ahead. Appreciate you watching, but I don't remember saying don't sign him. Or if I did, I was probably drinking too many bushes.
Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you next time.